Hello Summoners and welcome back to another ProGuides OP Korean builds video. My name is Christoph and today I'll be going over some of the latest and most OP builds that have been rising in popularity in Korean Challenger. A bunch of you guys have been asking for our personal recommendations on this topic for quite some time, and lucky for you, we have a lot of connections to Korean Challenger, so we're here to give you guys the best and latest builds for every role, so you can pick a handful of these to try out in your next few games. Also, we've heard your feedback from our previous videos, and we've implemented some of the changes you guys recommended into this one. Thank you guys so much for the comments and suggestions. We care a ton about our community, and if you guys have any improvements, please comment down below. Alright, let's get right into the video. Starting with the top lane, RIVEN has been one of the most broken and OP champions in the game right now, and she has one of the highest win rates and pick rates in the top lane. A lot of pro players and high elo top laners have been finding success with a brand new build which involves weaving in crit items into her standard build. We've recommended this build multiple times in our recent meta videos, and the build goes something like this. You want to take Conqueror as your primary keystone with Resolve second for shield bash and bone plating. Then you want to rush an Essence Reaver followed by a Spear of Shojin into a 1, 2, or even 3 Infinity Edges. Some RIVEN players prefer to go only one Infinity Edge and build more tank or sustain items for more playmaking potential. Either build path works and will bring you great results. You can pretty much 100-0 anyone with this build, especially if you know how to weave in your auto attacks after your main damage abilities. If you guys are interested in understanding the complex mechanics with RIVEN, then go check out BoxBox's guide on RIVEN on ProGuides.com using the link below. There's very little counterplay to this build because she will CC you, dash to you, and demolish your HP bar before you even have time to react. I highly recommend you guys try this out in your next few games and grab that free LP before RIVEN does get nerfed in patch 9.10. Next up we have KENNEN. Although KENNEN got nerfed recently in patch 9.9, his play rate and win rate appear to be unaffected by the changes. He is comfortably sitting at our A tier for top laners and is still the lane bully that he was last patch. However, due to the tankiness on his E being removed, a lot of players have stopped building Hextech Protobelt due to just how quickly he'll get popped if he dashes into a fight. Instead, we're seeing a brand new OP build on KENNEN that pretty much 70% of Korean challengers have been building. This build goes something like this. You want to take Kleptomancy followed by Domination second for Ravenous Hunter and Taste of Blood. Then you want to build Hextech Gunblade and rush either a Morello for Magic Pen or go into a slightly tankier route with Zhonya's Hourglass. This build path is definitely situational, and there are times when Protobelt is a better buy, but the Gunblade should work most of the time. If you start to get really good at this build, then the enemy top laner is not going to have a fun time in lane. Abuse this before the word starts to spread. Lastly, for top laners, we have a very unusual build that might even be considered troll by many players. Recently, we've been seeing a surge in Korean Challenger KASSADIN mains jumping into the Rift without flash or teleport. Yep, you heard it right. Instead, they've been going Exhaust plus Heal, Ghost, Cleanse, or Barrier, and taking Summoner's Spellbook to swap them out depending on the situation. This build sounds extremely troll, but it seems to be working and a lot of players are opting to this route. The build goes something like this. You want to take Summoner's Spellbook and then Sorcery second for Mana Flow Band and Transcendence. Then you want to purchase a Tear of the Goddess and then build straight into tank items like Frozen Heart or Abyssal Mask. The only ability power item you should buy is Archangels, and every item after that is straight tank items that provide mana. I don't recommend you try this out in ranked games unless you are very good at KASSADIN and are at least a Mastery level 7. So try this out in your next few normal games and let us know how this goes down below. Before we move on to the jungle tier list, I do want to mention that there's a wonderful jungle course on ProGuides.com that was created by one of the best junglers in NA, Nightblue. If you guys want to improve your jungling and become the unstoppable force that can 1v9 games, then please go check out ProGuides.com using the description link below. Alright, on to the jungle. EVELYNN has been seeing very little play in Korean Challenger, but is probably one of the best junglers in the game right now. Ever since the Scuttle spawn timer got changed, it's indirectly removed one of her greatest weaknesses of not being able to contest early crabs, and her win rate has skyrocketed as a result. The build goes something like this. You want to take Electrocute with Sorcery second for Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. Then you want to rush a Dark Seal into Runic Echoes and then Lichbane. With this build, you can one-shot any squishy member on the enemy team and pretty much 1v9 a game. However, make sure you don't make the enemies rage quit. Getting camped by an EVELYNN is one of the most tilting experiences in the game. If you want to learn the most optimal and OP jungle paths for Evelynn, then go check out our previous video on the top 6 most OP jungle paths for patch 9.9. One of the best Evelynn mains in the world named Sunset has personally shared his secret route that you can abuse in patch 9.9 in that video, so make sure to check it out and use it before all the other junglers start to catch on to this one trick. Next up is an unusual build that has been rising in popularity since the start of patch 9.9, which is full AP Zac. Zac hasn't seen too much play recently due to his inability to keep up with carry junglers, but he's definitely making a good comeback this time around, and he's going to become a huge threat for solo queue. I've seen many challenger Korean junglers play this build when they play against squishy junglers like Kindred or Kha'Zix, and the build goes something like this. You want to take Electrocute followed by Inspiration second for free boots and Cosmetic Insight, then rush a Runic Echoes into a Zhonya's or Protobelt for more engage. This build does so much damage and nobody expects it because it's so rarely played. Try it out in your next few games and enjoy slingshotting your way to the top of the ranked ladder. Alright, now onto the mid lane. So this build is going to sound troll, but it's absolutely broken beyond belief and everyone is trying it out right now. Full AP Soraka. Yep, you heard it right. Full AP Soraka mid is back and it's sleeper OP for solo queue. Ever since she got reworked at the start of patch 9.9, everyone's been playing her in the mid lane due to just how much more annoying she became. The build goes something like this. You want to take Summon Aerie, followed by Resolve second for Revitalize. Then you want to rush an Ardent Censer, followed by an Athene's Unholy Grail. This build is so annoying and just heals up all the damage she takes, allowing her to win every trade with ease. Some pro players have been opting to go Death Cap for even more burst. Give this a try as soon as you can. If you're a mid laner who enjoys playing that supportive role, then Soraka is the champion for you. Next up, we have everybody's favorite champion, Zoe in the mid lane. Zoe's been seeing a lot more play recently and is one of the strongest champions in the game. However, instead of going the standard Summon Aerie or Electrocute route, a lot of Korean challengers have been going this insane utility build which increases her effectiveness in those long team fights. The build goes something like this. You want to take Glacial Augment followed by Domination second for Ingenious Hunter. Then you want to rush a Hextech GLP into a Twin Shadows for even more utility. After you slow them with your items and Glacial Augment, it becomes super easy to land your Sleepy Trouble Bubble, which will allow you to land a devastating Paddle Star. If you get hit even once by this combo, then you're pretty much going to be forced out of lane and have to concede lane priority to Zoe. I personally tried this out and I've seen the enemy mid laner tilt out of their mind. Making them fall asleep with no counterplay and then forcing them to watch a tiny Paddle Star hit their HP bars like a fire truck is really satisfying. Alright, on to AD carries. There were 0 changes made to AD carries this patch, but there are some brand new unique builds that have been appearing in the meta recently. The first one is EZREAL. Although this build path is rather set in stone, we've been noticing a new trend among high elo Korean EZREAL mains. If you don't know them by now, Korea undoubtedly has the best EZREAL players in the world, and he's Korea's favorite AD carry by far. The new build goes something like this. You want to take the standard runes with Klepto, followed by Sorcery second for Mana Flow Band and Gathering Storm. Then you want to go the standard route again for items by rushing a Muramana and then building Triforce or Iceborne Gauntlet. However, this is where we shake things up a bit with a Hextech Gunblade, followed by a full AP route with Luden's Echo or even a Death Cap. Ever since the double tier build got nerfed, players have been trying to find a substitute that can replicate the same strength as the double tier, and this new build comes pretty darn close. Give it a try. The playstyle is very similar to EZREAL ADC, but with more burst and less DPS. Next up, we have JHIN. This new build was mentioned before in our meta-analysis videos, but it was more of a troll/fun item build back then. It's now becoming a new standard for JHIN mains, and every single challenger JHIN player has been opting to do this route at least once every few games. Instead of going the standard crit route with IE plus 2 Zeal items, they've been going 1, 2, 3, or even 4 Infinity Edges at the same time. The build goes something like this. You want to take Electrocute followed by Inspiration second for the free boots and biscuits. You then want to rush an Infinity Edge followed by another Infinity Edge, and yep, you guessed it, another Infinity Edge. This build is rather odd, but it's surprisingly strong. The extra AD you get from IE combined with the damage amplifier buff JHIN received on his ultimate recently makes him an extremely bursty champion, and you can 100-0 someone if you land all 4 shots of your ultimate. Lastly, we have our supports. Starting with our favorite burst mage, we have Lux. However, instead of the standard summon Ahri route, our analysts have been seeing an increase in play for Aftershock Lux support. The theory behind this is to basically CC someone and then burst them while being too tanky to take significant amounts of damage back. It's very good against champions who want to jump onto you as aggressively as possible because you can just proc your Aftershock and survive the enemy all in. The build goes something like this. You want to take Aftershock followed by Sorcery second for Mana Flow Band and Transcendence. You want to rush your Spell Thief's upgrade into whatever AP items you can find, but usually it's an Ardent Censer. This build path doesn't work all the time, but it's especially effective against champions like Pyke, Alistar, and Leona who are immobile after their initial all-in. Lastly, we have our final OP build for patch 9.9, which is Kleptomancy ZYRA. Imagine playing as Alistar, Braum, or Leona and just getting constantly poked out and autoed by Kleptomancy ZYRA. Not only does she get the gold from Klepto, but she'll also proc her Spell Thieves on you, which will eventually get her a ton of gold. But that's not even the best part. The best part is just how easy it is for her to proc all her keystones. Once you get hit by her E, well, get ready to give up a gold lead because she will generate an insane amount of gold. The build goes something like this. You want to take Kleptomancy followed by Domination second for Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter. Then you want to rush your Spell Thieves, followed by a Morello or Rylai's for more damage. That's it for our new OP Korean build video. Would love to hear your suggestions on how we can improve these videos next time, so please leave that down below. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this in the future. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck in your next few games, and we'll see you on the Rift.